Okay, this is a short or maybe fairly short video on the growing of the microgreens in the system that I've developed. I'm Dr. Duncan Bell, and I've been working on this for a few months now, trying to optimize it. And I've optimized it for pea sprouts on a 9-day cycle. What I'm going to do is show you the result of the 9th day, and then I'm going to take that apart and make a new tray, which will be a day zero tray, and show you the intermediate stages. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's view the entire system first. It has a bank of LED lights here that I got from Amazon, and it has various trays that I get from the dollar store, from the Dollar Tree store. They're $1 each, and you'll see that I modify them slightly to get them to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is pull out the microgreens here, and we'll start by harvesting them. And for that, I get a plastic bag like this, and I get my scissors out and snip it off and put it in the bag. So this is a nice crop. Again, it's 9 days. Today is the 18th, and this was started on the 9th. So I'm just going to, I'll show you on this side, even though it's left-handed. What I do, I have a piece of black electrical tape that goes around, that seals the top and the bottom. I'm going to pull that off. It makes it a lot easier for the harvesting. And I'll be reusing this tape. So it's just a long piece of tape, and I fold over the ends so they're non-sticky, and it makes it a lot easier to put it on and take it off. And I just reuse the same piece. Okay, so having done that, I can lift up this ring. And this ring is formed by cutting out the bottom of the tray, which I will show you the tray once I get a little further on. But I'm just going to now just snip these off. These are nice length. Put them in my bag. And I don't rinse them or anything. They've been cleaned just by growing in a clean environment. And these are special seeds that don't have any pesticides on them or preservatives. So I don't have to rinse anything off because it's harmful. So I'm cutting these off about 3/4 of an inch above where the peas themselves are located. Okay, so there's my bag of peas. Took 9 days to get to this point. I'm going to set that aside. Actually, I'm going to put it right in the refrigerator. Right. Okay, now let's just see what this looked like, these 9-day-old peas, and you'll see the setup too. So this tray has a spacer of some sort. I use different things for spacers, but essentially it just raises it up a couple of inches. And then on top of that, I put a piece of plastic here. And when I said that I cut the bottom out of the tray, here, when I cut it out, this becomes the bottom here. And this is just to really cover these holes in this plastic spacer so that the peas have a flat surface to be laid onto and they don't roll into individual kind of spots all along. But here's what has happened in the 9 days. This is a paper towel, and I'll show you the assembly as I do that, but look at that fine mass of roots. The system really does work well. And there's no browning of the roots, which would indicate rot. So I'm just going to take this off and throw it in the garbage. If you have a compost pile, you could put that into a compost pile. It's all lovely organic stuff. And I'll just sort of clean this off down into here. And I'm going to just rinse it with hot water. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's rinsed. Whoops. I'll take this back out again. Okay, so now we're going to start assembling the next batch. So I'll put this in, and we're going to put paper towels on this. And what I use, actually, I use paper towels to dry them off the bags that I've reused once the peas are out of there. And I'll just take these towels out of the bag, and there's standard towels that I get have a perforation about every 5 or 6 inches. And so I take that, I'm going to wrap that now around, or lay it down on top of this. You see that? Yep. And then a second one, lay that down on top of that. Okay. And so this is another bit of 2. Then I'm going to lay this whole thing, lay it on top of my spacer, and wrap the tails down. And these are going to go down into the water reservoir and soak up the water. So now I'm pushing this in here and dropping it down. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to my scale. Whoops. And I'm going to add 500 grams of water. All right, so we'll do that. So I'm going to just lay this on here and tare it while I get some water. And the water I use is nothing special. Well, we have a filter on our sink, and I use that filtered water, but it really is nothing magical. Okay, I'm getting the water now. Right, and now add 500 grams of water here. And it doesn't really matter how you add, it's just the weight. And 500 grams is good. It doesn't seem to use up the 500 grams in the 9 days of the growth. So this is sort of filling up a reservoir, and the paper towels drip down into the reservoir and will keep the top surface wet through capillary action. So I'm adding, oh dear, spilled over. 485, that's good enough. All right, so I've got that. Now we're going to go back to the other place. Oops. Right. So now we're going to put the seeds on. And these are the seeds. It says pea sprouting, speckled peas, Mountain Valley seed, I mean. That's where I get it from. They're really nice seeds, you'll see. So I'm not going to weigh these out. What I like to do is put sort of a mass of them in the middle and then spread them out. End of that bag, but I have another bag. But I'm gonna have it. Need a little bit more. All right. And open this packaging. Oh, okay. All right. And do that. So then now I'm just going to spread it back and forth. And you'll learn over time what the density should be to do it. Remember that these peas swell, so they'll fill up the whole area just because they're going to take up more volume once they're swollen, they're bigger. Okay, so that's, now if you go online and look at microgreen setup things, they'll generally say you pre-soak the pea seeds for overnight. I find I don't need to do that. All I need to do is put something on the top here, and this will draw the water up, and it'll surround the pea with water. Okay, so now that I've got that top layer, I'm going to put on the electric tape again. And this is mostly just to hold the top on. It's a little bit to keep it dark, to hide that gap there, but mostly it's just to keep the top on. And so I go around here. Okay. And now, an element of this that's quite interesting is that you put weight onto the seeds as they're germinating. It doesn't speed up the germination, but it makes the germination more even. So what I'm going to do is look for this one here. Whoops, I've got the weight gone. What happened to the weight? Oh, okay, here we go. This is it here. So if you see here, I'm going to take this. This is right here. I have a weight created, which is just 3 bathroom tiles held together with a rubber band, and then another one of these sheets that's going to go down onto the paper towel, right on down like here, like this. Okay, so the towel is on. Oops, how's your camera doing? I put that plate in, and I'm putting the weight on, and then the germination happens in the dark, and the first extension, elongation, happens in the dark. So I don't know if you saw me do that. I just took one of the regular trays and laid it down on top of that cut open thing. So it's a nice dark environment. And then I'll just put that here, and we're almost done. I'm going to put this here, and I just accumulate this. And then this is the second set. I'm going to be able to let this elongate here. Right, so I'll put a cover on this, but I won't. You'll see there's very good germination. I'm sorry, very good germination. There's still a lot of water in here. Now I'll put a cover on, and this will be the second set. Let's see here. So that's the second set there, and I'm stacking it on top of the other one. And in this one, you'll see this was the other day. So this has the long shoots. These are elongated in the dark because you like those nice long stems. It's easier to harvest, and they're quite tasty. So that's it. Now we are done for this 3-day for day 3. So what I'll do is I'll make a tag with today's date, which is November 18th, and I'll put that onto this one here. So just in summary, at this point now, we're all done for the day. We harvested the peas, and we took that arrangement and used that tray to become day 0, and we put a spacer and some paper towels, some peas, another paper towel, a plate, and then a weight on top of the plate. Oh, I left out the bottom plate that's on top of the spacer, and that's the stack. And then we added this cover to make it dark down here, to make this dark, and we have that black tape that goes around. So nothing is to be done for the next 3 days. I leave the lights on 24 hours, and that's it. And so 3 days from now, I'll harvest these and move the other trays into their next setup. Okay.